I think a lot of us wished we would have started saving sooner and paying more attention to our finances. And tomorrow, the Canadian Foundation of Economic Education has declared the day Talk with Our Kids About Money Day. And I'm here with Joel Graham, and he is a former high school teacher in Regina turned financial wellness manager with Connexus Credit Union. And he's passionate about financial literacy. And kids, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So what makes you so passionate about financial literacy?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is that this is an area that I think we're struggling in our province right now. And I think some stats would suggest that this is an area that isn't common sense to both adults and students alike.
At what age should people start talking to their children about money and finances?
There's some research out there that almost all of your habits that you develop with money are kind of created before the age of 7. So as soon as possible, I guess would be my first answer. But there's some different stages you can go through and how you develop those conversations. So I would say if you have kids that are under the age of 6, there's a couple things you can do. Maybe the big 3 tips would be that whole piggy bank effect, but rather than the piggy bank where you can't see into, maybe a clear jar so that kids can see the growth of that money over time. That's an important one. Starting to involve your kids with purchasing. So if you're going to the store and they have a toy or candy that they really want to buy, it's a great opportunity for them to actually take the money out of the jar and provide that money over to the cashier. And the third one is just kind of being really open and comfortable speaking about money within your family. So between you and your partner, that's really important for kids to start to see that habit developing.
I was going to say, when it comes to personal finances, I think as we grow up, we have no idea how our parents make money or how the finances of family work. Is that something that people should maybe talk about with their kids?
Yeah, absolutely. The more open you can be about this, the more comfortable the kids will be as they get older and start to deal with those challenges themselves.
Are we bad at saving money in Saskatchewan?
Yes, we're really bad at that. That's a great question. I think the stats would say that about 1 in 3 people are actively saving money on a monthly basis. And that's not a great number. You'd love to see that closer to 100%, obviously. So that would be an area that we really need to improve upon. So that whole concept of pay yourself first, when you get money coming in, right, you should really try to actively set aside a portion of that for your own goals, so your short-term and long-term goals. And research would suggest that 10 to 20% of that income should be kind of moved aside for those priorities.
Do you have any resources that you would suggest for people, not even necessarily to talk about their kids, but maybe they're hearing this and thinking, I could be better at this? What are some of your tips for people just to start wrapping their head around their finances?
Yeah, great one. My favorite, it's kind of old school, but The Wealthy Barber by David Chilton, that is such a simple book, really easy to understand. I think if you have teenagers at home, that's a great place to get them started with, or for yourself. He's come back with The Wealthy Barber Returns, so it's the updated version. And then I think it's never been easier to learn than it is today. So however you like to learn, for me it's YouTube is a big thing. I really there's a gentleman by the name of Ramit Sethi. He kind of gives you what's called the life plan, and he takes your income and breaks it off into a whole bunch of different areas that can kind of automatically set you up for success financially.